Some more
I'll
signs.
go ahead and call the meeting order.
I got some more signs, so I don't know, can I turn them over to you sometime? I know you don't want them. I got some red signs and some red signs.
Linda, if you have a prayer for us.
Well, I can't leave
Let
them
us
in the
pray.
car, cause that's where I put my keys.
Father God, thank you for letting us gather here today. Watch over those who are traveling, watch over those who are in need of your comfort and care. Thank you for everything you've given us. Thank you for this beautiful fall weather and hopefully the incoming rain that we so desperately need. Thank you for forgiveness of sins, and in your name I pray, amen.
Danny, you want to do our pledge?
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You want to check her quorum?
Alright, our regular board meeting, September 23rd, Ms. Cookenbook,
Here.
Mr. Booth,
Here.
Ms. Bechtold,
Present?
and Mr. Turman.
Here.
And as you notice, Mr. Cox will not be attending the meeting today.
But he will be called. Okay, next would be the approval of the agenda, but I want to amend the agenda and do away with the closed session, because we don't have anything that need to be discussed tonight.
Very good.
I'll take a motion to approve if nobody's got anything they want to add to,
So moved.
Second?
Alright. On a motion to approve the agenda with the amendment of removal of number 14 on the agenda, closed under A1, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
and Mr. Turman.
yes. Okay, approval of the disbursements, everybody had a chance to look them over and
Yes. Is the one I turned in and that's.
No,
Okay.
no,
I just wanna make sure.
don't think so.
I didn't see it.
I
It's
don't believe
sideways
so.
on my
Yeah,
screen.
no,
but-
his wasn't.
It is?
It's the one we were talking about last night.
Go to the
No,
other one.
The October one, first one in October.
Oh, okay.
You should go to the other
I
one.
just wanna make sure, cause I wanna abstain when he did.
I have a question. The cheerleader uniform reimbursement, that's for the entire expense of the uniforms? Is that correct? It is
It's easier and it comes out.
That was,
502.
there was a delay in, no fault to anybody, the entire New River, there was a delay in the uniforms itself for cheerleading. So a parent wanted them for the first game, cause that was what was missed, went ahead and put some uniforms together, top parts
Right.
together, and that was a reimbursement for that.
Okay, wonderful. So the uniforms have been,
They, actually, Christian made it a point, he got a went they weren't gonna be delivered, so he went and got them. He went to
Wonderful.
Dublin and picked them all up and then came back and gave them out to ensure that everybody had their uniforms.
Thank you.
Everything's taken care of.
Everything's taken care of.
anyone else? I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the disbursements as presented.
Second.
Okay, on a motion to approve the disbursements as presented, Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Mr. Booth,
Yes.
and Mr. Turman.
Yes. Approval of the minutes for September the 9th. All of us was here on that one. Anybody got any changes, corrections, or?
See any? I'll make a motion to approve if no one has anything.
I'll second.
On a motion to approve the minutes for 9/9/25, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook, Ms.
Yes.
Bechtold,
Yes.
and Mr. Turman.
Yes. Keep this train on the track, so.
I might get supper before 10
There you
o'clock.
go, so. Can't say your name, Billy?
Yep.
I just say Billy.
That's okay, that's all right.
I don't wanna mess up your last name.
That's okay, no worries. Well, thank you all, it's great to be here and see you all again and present an update on the groundwater program for the landfill.
Yep.
Got a presentation here, I think is in your board packet, there's a couple of graphs, there's a map or so toward the end of it, so we'll probably refer to that and go back and forth. And I'll go through that summary, but if you have any questions at any point, feel free, just,
Hey, thank you, that's great.
just feel free to just ask questions anytime. Before we start with the landfill, I do wanna update a couple things. TRC does compliance inspections every quarter just to make sure everything's look good, you know, in anticipation of the DEQ inspections. And everything's looking great, so your staff doing a great job. And I'm sorry.
No, okay.
Okay. And then the second point is, we've been working with you on that convenience center, and I think we have a draft, some updates or improvements, if you will, to the initial design that's coming before the board, so just a reminder that's still out there too. But any questions on those two items real quick?
Is part of it the floor?
I'm sorry.
Is part of what you're recommending is the floor for the transfer station?
I think that's correct, I've only briefly looked at it.
Okay.
My colleague,
Laura?
goodness.
Laura.
Laura, thank you. My colleague Laura was pushing on that, so. But I think it's still under review, there may be some more questions and comments.
Correct. There's if I may, she did, Mark and her talked, he went on vacation, came back, there was plans that were, you know, that she sent. He had one more question, especially about the runoff and the rain and some piping that's being suggested, so with in lieu of a pond, cause that won't be necessary, cause it's a lot smaller.
Right.
So that was where it was left off pretty much today. So he's gonna get some more clarification and it'll be sent to you guys.
Well, we had put a top on that transfer station floor way back, but I don't,
Oh, you know
I
what,
don't- I
no,
don't-
this was the other, I'm sorry,
Convenience
this
center.
was
Yeah,
the
we're talking
convenience
about- yeah,
center.
we're talking
You
about
were
the
talking
transfer
about the
station.
transfer station,
Yeah.
my
and
apologies.
you were talking what?
Convenience
I was
center.
talking the
Oh,
convenience
convenience
center, cause that's what
centers. No.
Laura's doing.
That's
I don't
correct.
know if Laura's doing.
Oh, I'm
No,
sorry.
I think it's
No.
just the convenience
Yeah,
center.
Laura's doing the
Okay.
convenience center, that's where I got confused.
Right.
She's
Well, I
not
thought
doing
he-
the transfer station.
It's not the transfer station, it's
No.
the convenience center.
Correct.
Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
think I might have misspoke on that, sorry.
Okay,
Yeah, that's correct. So with that, we'll jump into the landfill program, groundwater monitoring and corrective action. As you know, we've been conducting groundwater monitoring for many years, probably more years than you care to consider. The landfill
Been there all
and corrective
along.
action, yeah, I appreciate that, I totally understood. Landfill and corrective action, we determined the most cost-effective way to address that was through monitored natural attenuation, which is the ability to have the local groundwater quality kind of clean itself up through, you know, nutrients in the groundwater, stimulates bacterial and other microbes. They chew up the compounds and reduce them down to principles, if you will, and then those concentrations for those compounds go away over time. Landfills, as you know, 40-acre landfill site distributed with relatively low concentrations. It's really hard to do anything more than that because it's just so expensive to put an active system into it. So the monitored natural attenuation, as we evaluated all those options, kind of came out to be the best choice. The downside to it, of course, is there is a long-term monitoring program associated with it. We update the DEQ every 4 years on the status of corrective action at the landfill for groundwater. And the most recent, and that's done every 4 years, so I think I said, the most recent report went in at the end of August. And I'm gonna forward there, if you guys can see that graph right there, that gives you probably, if you boil the whole case report, corrective action status evaluation report into one elevator speech or whatever would be that graph right there. So you can see there's a continuum, this is over the course of gosh, it's decades of monitoring, and you can see the concentrations are decreasing. But the goal for the corrective action program is, if you see that little red line at the very bottom, that straight red line, that is the lowest concentration groundwater protection standard. So once everything is below that for 3 consecutive years or 6 consecutive monitoring events, then the regulations allow us to petition DEQ to not only terminate corrective action, but also terminate groundwater monitoring, post-closure groundwater monitoring. The case report and the ones preceding it suggested it would be around the time of the year 2030. That concentration should continue until around 2030 and be at that low level. That lowest level is 2 parts per billion, so it's pretty low concentration. And we could talk all night about the relevance of that, but nonetheless, that's how the regulations are written, and that's what we're held to. So by 2030, we're looking at just projecting data over time that it should be below that, and if we can keep that for 3 years, then we'll tell them we've met the obligations, we've met the goals of corrective action, and we can terminate groundwater monitoring. So that's the hope. Running through that, we monitor twice a year, usually May and October, around that time frame. We can still continue to see a handful of compounds that are exceeding the groundwater protection standards, but as you can see here, things are going in the right direction at least, so that's good news. That corrective action status report, I'm going to advance through, that's a bunch of text that no one wants to see. That corrective action status report, I anticipate there are going to be 3 primary comments coming back from DEQ, and they're the same comments that we have seen in the past. And if you check out this groundwater map here, if you look off to the top left of the map, those blue dash contours are the groundwater elevation, so the groundwater below the ground surface. As you see, it tends to go in a southeast and a southwest direction. The first comment that I anticipate we're going to see is that monitoring well MW21, and you've probably heard me talk about this for years now. That's a well that we have to put in as what they call a sentinel well. So it's a sentinel to make sure that groundwater impact from the landfill isn't continuing to flow downstream, if you will, down the groundwater gradient. That well does show solid waste impact to it. It does show some compounds, but they are so low, the laboratory can't even tell you how much is there. It's between what they call the limit of detection and the limit of quantitation. The limit of detection is where the laboratory says we can tell the difference between this compound in this water sample versus a lab blank, versus an absolute clean sample. So we know something's there, but it's not a concentration high enough that we can tell you how much is there. So we've been maintaining with DEQ for years now that, well, that's the perfect sentinel well, because what that's telling us is the plume's not moving. If that concentration was increasing, then we'd have a problem.
The natural filtration's working.
Exactly. That's not going any further than that. When we installed that well, it was in 2011, and we had talked to the DEQ about it, and we were like, well, we should just put this at the far property. This is on adjacent property too. I forgot to mention that, and you all know it's been a very cooperative property, and I'm very appreciative of that. And they allowed us to, extend a road onto their property, drill a well, and what we had talked to the DEQ initially was, well, if we're going to do this ground disturbance, let's just do it once. Let's go right to their far property boundary. DEQ didn't like that. It said it's too far away. Their words were, quote, if you don't detect anything, you don't know where the edge of the plume is. And so we're like, okay, fine. We did some analyses and said, well, we think the edge of the plume is right here, and I think we nailed it with that well. But now the DEQ is saying, if you've got solid waste impact to a well, we can't call it a sentinel well. It's a definition. So you have to install one further down gradient. How about at the far property boundary?
Which is where you want to do it in the first place.
Exactly. So we've been pushing back on that for a couple of years now. I anticipate we're going to see that comment again. We do have a new representative from DEQ that's overseeing the landfill program, a gentleman named Nathan Amick. He has replaced Doug Gilmer, who retired a couple years ago. Then it went to a gentleman named Mike Sexton, but now it's gone to Nathan. This will be Nathan's first review of any case report, not just Floyd's, but anyone's. So we'll see what he comes back with, but I anticipate
He's gonna get out of the car with the books in his hands. That's what's gonna happen.
Exactly. I think you can see the.
I've been there before.
Yeah, I've seen that movie before. Yeah. The ending doesn't typically change. Right. So we'll probably see something to do with that, and we will continue advocating, as strongly as we can, respectfully but technically justified, that well is exactly where it needs to be. And on top of that, the property owners already expressed that they do not want more land disturbance. They don't want more, roads built, wells drilled, erosion sediment control, fencing up and all that. It's just it's not good for anything. So
I don't blame them.
we
No,
will,
me neither.
like I said, I anticipate, maybe not, but I anticipate we're gonna see that and we'll address it. I'm gonna come back if I can up to this photograph. The second thing I think we're gonna have a comment from DEQ on from that case report that was submitted in August is that the terracotta pipe under drain that was installed, I think, in the late 60s, 70s, to lower the groundwater and to try to manage some of that. It was discharging down below what's now the stormwater pond, which at the time I think was installed simply for the construction aspect for closure, but has actually turned into a pretty good thing. So keeping that is a good thing for many reasons.
Yeah.
But below that is where that underdrain so underdrain leads below the pond and then discharges to the stream down there. We were in talking to the DEQ and in working through how to best address the corrective action program, we discussed with DEQ the ability to use what's called interim measures. The alternative to that, so I'm sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So at that discharge, we still see concentrations above the groundwater protection standard. Now, they go away within 10 feet of that discharge, but at the point of monitoring where it goes from the underdrain to the surface environment, we see exceedances of groundwater protection standard. So the DEQ's like, well, what are you gonna do about it? And we tried many different things. We've messed with the underdrain pipe up above the pond. We've done this and other, but really that whole valley is collecting groundwater. And so it's not just coming from that underdrain. That whole area is just a discharge for groundwater. So there's not a whole lot we can do. But what
Are you talking about the iron concentration?
Yes, sir. Yeah, well, and so the iron is not regulated, but it's the thing that you see. That's the one that gets.
That's what you see and gets everybody excited.
Right.
Exactly. The vinyl chloride is what we see in the discharge water that exceeds the standard, but I mean, it exceeds it by a part per billion. Like we see at 3, the standard's 2, really close to being below it. Nonetheless, like I said, within 10 feet, it volatilizes and goes away. So if you don't do the interim measures, under the regulations, you would then have to revisit your whole corrective action program, which just opens up a whole can of worms and a whole lot of stuff that we don't want to do. So interim measures makes a lot of sense, and we're looking at what we tried to do with that, or what we have done, I should say, with that underdrain to address it. And Mike Short did the work out there, did a great job. Mark Cole was instrumental, and it was a fantastic project. And essentially what you're seeing now is we captured where that subsurface underdrain was discharging to the stream. We essentially basically put a 90-degree on it, and then we have a kind of candy cane, and it discharges down to this Gabion rock, which is carbonate, so it's limestone. The intent of that is to drop out the volatiles with the cascading effect and drop out the iron, because when iron-enriched water hits that limestone, the pH goes up and it drops the iron out.
Right.
So we're definitely seeing iron staining, so we know that part's working. But we still see iron downgrading of that because it's also coming from other areas, right? And iron is tough.
It's naturally occurring in that area.
It is. That's
All over
exactly right.
I can take you to several wells.
Yes.
A well away from the landfill.
Right.
That they've had to put filter systems on, or many of them have just shut them down and hooked to the PSA
Yeah.
because of the iron content in them. And even if where the old town dump is, there's a stream at the bottom of it. Now that thing's been gone since the 60s.
Yeah.
Anything in there is gone. The water coming out of it showed iron in it years ago.
Absolutely.
And
exactly
when
right.
we go through a drought, the water table drops and the iron concentration's even more. So
It's a rock and a hard place.
Appreciate what you're saying.
it's
So-
common sense is what it is, and people at DEQ have none.
Well,
I'm sorry, you can't say that, I can. And I'll scream it to the top of my lungs, and I've been doing it ever since 1993.
Well, you summed it up nicely with that respect, and that iron is everywhere. When you look at like homes that have their masonry covered brick
Right.
basements,
Yeah.
and you see the orange creeping
Yeah,
up over the
yeah, yeah,
years,
yeah.
it's just the
That's-
iron leaching out of the soil.
That is correct.
The geology around here is full of iron.
It sure is.
But again, we're
why we have an iron
not
furnace.
regulated on iron specifically under the solid waste regulations. It's the vinyl chloride that we have to pay attention to. That's why we're doing that cascade effect.
Right.
Like you said, the iron is just what gets people's attention. And
Right.
it makes people nervous.
Was the candy cane effect helping?
It is helping. When we sample the water as it was bubbling up from the bottom of the little stream there, we were getting 3 to 4 parts per billion. When we sample at the outfall of the candy cane, we get 2 to 3. And then when we sample below, after it's flowed through all that, it's not detected. Not detected, sorry, I should.
So that should take care of it.
So that's a good sign. Yes, it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's knocking out that vinyl chloride, just turning it into water, carbon dioxide, and ethanol, ethene, that kind of thing. The problem is definitions, kind of like that MW21 we just talked about. The problem is the definition of that sampling location. So at that point where we have the candy cane, that is defined as it's S-4, meaning surface site number 4. And so even though we are not seeing vinyl chloride transfer down further, and certainly not going off the property boundary, I mean it's gone within 10 feet, we are still held to that regulatory location of S4. So until we can show that diminution, if you will, that decrease below, then we're kind of stuck with it, if you will. But at least we're knocking out as much iron as we can from that location, and vinyl chloride. One thing to keep in mind is that the vinyl chloride groundwater protection standard is the lowest one of all the compounds we see, and it's 2 parts per billion. And we're seeing it range from 3 to 4, so we are almost there.
Yeah.
On the other hand, so there's always good and a bad, if you will. On the other hand, all that water's flowing underground through that underdrain, and it only daylights here. So and it's flowing through that pipe. So it's not like it's able to flow through the natural aquifer where bacteria where it spends some time, the bacteria can have time to break it down. It's like whooshing right through that pipe. So there's that concern too. We tried to block that pipe. So before we built all this structure, Mike Short got in there and excavated it out, and we put a plug on that, and we tried to block the pipe, hoping, assuming, if you will, that if the water's not coming right out of the pipe, it's just gonna
Disperse.
circulate out.
Right.
The problem is that pipe is laid out on a gravel bed, and so it just went right through the ground.
Right.
So so it just short circuits.
In other words, it was built too good.
Right.
Right.
So this was the next step. So let's do this where we can capture it at the surface. In the long run, if we need to do other things to this, we can. At least now we have the ability to work with it. Whereas before it was this bubbling stream up and out, and you couldn't do anything with it. So this has been good. This has been done under the interim measures program. So that's, DEQ's happy with that, and we're not having to reopen the whole corrective action permit. So, I guess if there's one statement that I can make tonight to overall characterize what's going on is there's not a whole lot of difference, not a lot of changes from the last 40 years. Which is good in some ways, means it's not getting worse, but it's getting better, but just slowly. Okay, and back to that graph a little while ago, 2030 is when hopefully we're gonna really see things start to go below those regulatory standards. Yes,
We run on Floyd
Unless
time.
they change.
unless they change.
Unless they change, and that's happened through the years
Yeah.
too. Some of them spikes is not just our
Yeah.
landfills.
Yeah.
Some of those spikes
Was there
are
changing.
droughts and them changing the specs.
That's exactly right. A lot of those, so for example, that vinyl chloride standard is a federal drinking water standard.
Mhm.
And that's what I was gonna say earlier on, like, we could talk all night about, like, what's the relevant, like, no one's drinking that water, so why are we held to a drinking water standard?
Right.
But that's how the regulations are written, so that we're gonna have to live with it. Other
Because that
compounds-
water eventually makes its way into Dog Creek. and to the other water crevices downstream.
Right, well, and with respect to that, we have monitoring points down that we can prove
Right,
unequivocally, there does not leave pretty much that basin,
Correct.
that little basin you see there.
Years ago, we went through that whole area and we tested people's wells.
Right.
yeah.
And we came up, none of them had any of our compounds in them.
Right.
Is there, and I don't mean to interrupt, but
That's okay.
is that something that needs to be done again to show DEQ? Cause they were tickled that we did it, I remember, we did that on our own.
Yeah.
They didn't order us to, and they were very impressed with that.
Didn't y'all do that
Yes,
just
sir.
a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you
what I
done
was
it
thinking,
again?
Yeah.
Oh,
We
okay.
followed up on it,
Yeah.
and to answer your question, I mean, it is always a good thing,
Right.
to do that. Now, it costs money, and B, it can get people upset, cause they're like, what have you done? Well, we didn't do anything, we're just
We're
making
just
sure.
making sure,
But, you know.
once, most of the people there that talked to me after they understood what
They
was
was glad.
behind it. Well, yeah, well,
They were glad.
they were glad to have it tested.
Yes, I agree.
And, but the first time we did it, we did that on our own.
Yeah.
We set aside money for water trucks and all kind of stuff if necessary.
That's exactly right.
And, I'm not, so, do you know how long ago that was?
I was thinking it was while Lauren was still on the board.
Yeah.
So-
I
Yeah,
don't know.
it was Randy Arno and I went around and talked to everyone and did all the sampling, it's been that long ago.
That's when we did the
I
first.
was-
That's the first
Thirty-
one.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
Did we do it more recently?
We have relatively recently,
Yeah.
the first one we did, man, that was,
I will say it's about.
Probably about five
About
to
7
seven?
years.
Yeah, maybe 5 to 7.
Oh,
I
Yeah,
was
most
on
recently
board,
about 5
didn't
years.
Yeah, we've
realize
done
it
it.
was done.
Yeah, 5 to 7 years ago, before you came back on the board.
Well, that would have been before 2018 then.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I
So it's
guess,
been done that
7
recent,
years,
well then
8 years.
let's not open that can of
every
worms.
time I think it's 5 and 7.
And again, no
Sweat.
concerns were raised.
Not
from the
yet,
sampling, so,
anyway.
right. And the other thing too is like, it's, the DEQ will give you a pat on the back and it's a good thing to do.
Sure.
You know, but it's not, doesn't help you in the regulatory compliance.
Well, it made that one little fella happy back in when we did it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
showed,
they won't discourage it, for
his,
sure.
his words was, well, y'all are on top of it, you're wanting to take care of it.
Right.
Yeah, that's very good, well, that's exactly right, that DEQ's charge is protecting human health and environment, and you were doing exactly that, so
That's
they
right.
appreciate that.
So,
Yeah, there are a lot worse actors.
he seemed easier to get along with after that. I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not, but
Yeah.
you never know.
Right, well, we'll see, this MW21 is gonna be an interesting litmus test on that.
Yeah.
And see what we can do with that comment.
Well,
Well, if the landowner doesn't want us to disturb anymore,
That's true, yeah.
and you had originally proposed it, then DEQ just needs to say, okay, fine.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
we can't, we're not, I can tell you this much, I'm not voting for eminent domain to go put a well on somebody's
No.
property.
No.
Absolutely not. DEQ can,
dig your own well.
they can do their own well, that's right, that's a good way to put it.
Yep.
I mean, if yeah, that,
I mean, through the years, this county, we've spent the money.
Absolutely.
We've done everything every board I've served with has felt the same way.
absolutely,
We've done everything that's been suggested to help this problem.
Right.
You know, when we first started, 20 years monitoring, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I
you're-
said, them spikes on there, they changed a little bit, and then they said, well, this has gone away, but now we're finding this. And,
you are exactly right, you have always done the right thing.
Yep.
chromium has finally went down.
Yes,
Cobalt.
yeah,
And
yeah, the
cobalt.
chromium and
Yeah.
cobalt.
That's what I was getting ready to say, the cobalt, I remember.
That-
We was down right where it needed to be, was going to shut that well,
Yep.
and they lowered it,
Yep.
and we was back above.
Yeah.
It's a long, I can bore you with gory details, but yeah, the it's a long story, but yeah, that cobalt protection standard went up about a factor of 50.
Yeah.
Or went down a factor, went down from like
Went down.
500 to 15.
Yeah.
And just messed everything up, yeah.
And it was a long time before we reached that too.
Well, I think if we
I'm
get.
sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
interrupt
that's
you, but
perfectly fine, it's good to, I mean, I appreciate the time to talk about this and make sure everyone, just understands there's a lot of nuance here, right? There's a lot of, there's the regulations and there's actually how things are happening. And, we're trying to make the best for regulatory compliance, but also be technically justified and responsible for the county.
where that section was washing and we did all that work, did that pretty much take care of that?
Yes, that was a great thing in terms of DEQ's eyes, and you guys did a fantastic job. Mike Short's work out there was great. We did the design on that, and it seemed to be exactly what needed to happen to stop, because that erosion was pushing, and it was getting kind of scary. And we took care of that, and you guys were very responsible in that respect. So that was great.
The report you referenced in August, did we get a copy of it?
We were stumbling over. I believe we sent it to you. We should have sent you. Okay, good. Because the way those work, we send you all a copy for your files, but then we also need to put one in the public repository, which I believe is the library, so that the public can look at it at any time.
We got a hard copy?
You just got one?
Two.
One for you and one for the here and one in the library, or two here?
Two here, one is in Mark's office.
Oh, okay, it needs to be. Can I put a request in for a hard copy of that?
Sure.
Or electronic.
Yeah, electronic would be good too for
Okay.
the rest of us.
Be happy to. I'm gonna make myself a note real quick.
Thank you.
Actually, I think, doesn't it come with a thumb drive?
I think that was just the lab data,
Okay,
but
I
let me-
drive
I
with
can.
my whole hand, I don't use my.
I'll tell you.
I'm not an IT person, if you have an extra hard copy,
Sure.
I would,
We can get you.
We can.
cause
yeah,
I've
and I'll
got
tell
a
you-
collection of these things.
It's a big enough report that it'd be a lot easier for us to print it and mail them to you than you guys having to, because you'll be printing all day. So,
great, thank
That's
you.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
Thanks, Julie.
wow,
That
I'm
was
not.
pretty funny.
What, the thumb
The thumb
drive?
drive?
I drive my whole hand,
That's pretty funny.
unless I got a knob on it. We get back into the old
I
cars.
was gonna say,
But no, every once in a while, I'll go back and I'll get some of them old, when I get a report,
Yeah.
I'll go back and get some of the old ones out and I'll sit there and I'll compare them.
Compare
And
them,
it's
yeah.
mind blowing where we've come from.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, it really is.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point in time, we were afraid we would have to bring one of them big furnace engines in and just start digging.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a mouse in his Tupperware one day and ruin it.
It's gonna ruin everything, but so far the Tupperware is keeping it dry and clean.
Mouse in his Tupperware.
you'd be surprised what those things eat.
Well, there's a third comment that we may get, and that is to do with more of the interim measures part, which is enhancing the corrective action. We've been talking to the DEQ about possibly doing some targeted, meaning very specific location.
What do you inject?
Ah, gotcha, exactly right. So it's there's what they call a substrate would be
Right?
basically emulsified vegetable oil. It's
Right.
Environmentally friendly compound,
yeah.
that's what they used to refer to it.
There you
See,
go.
that's what I wanted to do in '94.
Okay.
Back then, the regulations wouldn't let you, it was contaminating everything. I come back on the board in 2002 and apparently somebody had got to the legislators and they allowed it
So
from
that's
then
okay.
on, but it was so expensive, we couldn't afford it, so.
Right, it's gotten cheaper, it's gotten a little more mainstream, so it's a little more cheaper these days, and there's some pretty interesting brews, concoctions out there, because that EVO or emulsified vegetable oil, they make it very fine, bubble size, if you will, frothy size, and then we put different kinds of nutrients in it, we can add different kind of bugs, I mean, you can engineer this fluid. That's the easy part, honestly, the hard part is getting it to contact the groundwater.
Injecting it.
Yeah, because the out here, the geology of the groundwater is mostly in bedrock fractures.
Correct.
Almost exclusively, so if you don't hit a fracture,
You're wasting your money.
Well, that and
so,
it
yeah,
takes so much pressure to back pressure, the way it was explained to me way back.
Yeah.
It takes so much pressure to back pressure a well
yeah,
that it's a roll of the dice.
exactly right.
See, I wanted to put cherry Kool-Aid in it, but that little guy
That's
from
not bad.
DEQ,
That's
he
sugar.
like to have a heart attack when I said that. But hey, whatever, you're looking for something that will show somewhere
Yeah.
where it's going.
Right.
And
That's exactly right. Exactly, the science is pretty well established over the last 20 years, what these natural microbes, what they like, what gets them excited, hungry, and they start eating everything, including the contaminants. So that, again, that's pretty well developed and kind of the easy part. It's getting it into contact with the groundwater that's so hard. So we may see that comment as well in the case report because they may say, well, they may say, I don't know, they may say it's taking too long, you need to bump it up a little bit. Like, well, reasonably speaking, what can we do? Maybe we can do targeted injections and around, like MW8 is one of the wells that seems to be persistently the highest concentration.
Right.
We've maintained for a long time that well, maybe there's something wrong with the well itself because it's so different than the other ones, but maybe we could do some injections around that well and show a big decrease. Might make them happy.
Yeah.
But what we can't do, because they don't print this much money, is we can't implement an active injection or pump and treat system or any active sort of groundwater remediation on it. It's just too big, too much. You can't. They just don't make that kind of money. So
Yeah.
we will evaluate their responses and we'll do what makes the most sense. Keep in regulatory compliance, but we're gonna just demand that what we do is technically justified and it's gonna make sense in the long run.
Yeah.
Is number 8 one of the deeper wells?
It is, yeah.
That's what I was
exactly right.
thinking.
Right, yeah.
So it has, from the discussion's coming back
Yeah.
slowly, but that was one of the ones we had talked about a long time ago, that if we did something like that, do that on it, because it felt like it was deep enough
Yes.
that it would get into the fracture, we called them aquifers then, but they were
Right, well-
fractures now, they
So-
changed that terminology on me. But felt that it would, if we could get it into that one, then it might disperse and feed the others to work.
So if 8 comes up with stuff, why isn't 17 coming up with stuff?
I think part of that has to do with the different depths of the
Right.
screens. And there might be, so it's that's the hard question sometimes in these fractured aquifers. You have two different fractures. One well hits this one,
What's
one
the
well hits this one.
what's the difference in the depth of those wells? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my
Alright,
head.
well, that's okay.
I think it's right much from what I
Was it?
recall.
As
Yeah,
I
I can't
recall,
remember.
because a lot of, so in the initial work where we were trying to define the nature and extent of the
Yeah.
impact, you have to drill wells at different
Right.
depths, if you will, because you need to define not only where it is this way, but also where it is this way.
Yeah,
So I think the difference in depths is pretty good between those two wells.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
but I still think M&A, monitor natural generation, is still the way to go. I mean, it's
Okay.
gonna be another several years of monitoring, but
Well, and also you don't know the filter difference between
Yeah.
those two wells. You
Right.
may have a filter system, a natural formed filter system that's
Mhm.
filtered a large part of that to where it's not showing as bad in that well.
exactly right.
But you don't know, till you go digging, you don't.
We
Don't know.
we have some remediation projects that are like industries that had were operating back in the 60s, 70s when housekeeping wasn't real good. And they they had releases of these same sorts of compounds, but so when we have active injection systems there, we're talking tens and tens of wells, in relatively small location, just in order to get the stuff into the groundwater
Wow.
to begin to break it down. So when you scale that up to the size of a landfill, 40 some acres, 50 acres, it's just not practical.
Yeah.
But maybe we can attack one well, but I think M&A is still the way to go. It's painful because we're doing a lot of monitoring, but I think relatively speaking, it makes the most sense from a financial.
Well, it's a whole lot cheaper than some of the other options, as expensive as monitoring's
Yeah.
gotten through the years.
Exactly.
So she's gonna go back and write on the calendar 2030 and we're out of it, right?
Yeah, that's
Well, I'll
right.
tell you, it's
That's one of my hooks, it's got a barb on it too now.
I'll be out there digging.
Yeah, you'll be out there digging.
It's in the report, so we're gonna it's right there.
They'll find somewhere in there to,
Yes, yeah, exactly.
they're not gonna let us off the hook.
they'll change something, they'll find something, they'll change something to where something that we're seeing right now that they're not regulating, they'll start regulating it.
We've seen that goalpost a number of times and
Yep.
then changed the goalpost. So I'm not going to bet on 2030, so
Yeah, I hear
do
you.
you can send me a message on it.
Yeah.
Goalpost,
I
that's a good
think,
segment.
I think that's everything I had on that presentation, but I'm happy to answer more questions, more discussions, whatever you would like.
Let's keep up the good work.
Yes, thank y'all.
We
So-
will,
Been
we'll see
what-
what happens in this next report response
Yeah.
and we'll,
When are we expecting that?
well,
Carol?
they
Before
didn't,
2030.
they didn't have time to
Hopefully.
because of all the personnel change they had, they
Right.
didn't review the last one before we submitted this one, so it could be 3 years. But they've got someone new on now who's, who's focused and not overwhelmed with all kinds of other projects, so typically it takes a year for them to turn around.
Okay.
But
I'll
more
bet
time
the
is better
4.
for letting those bugs do their thing.
I'm gonna bet the 4.
And just one final comment on DEQ is they have been more willing to discuss things and negotiate the last few years than they have previously been.
Excellent.
So I think if these issues do come up again, we can push back and make some
Good.
common sense arguments.
Yeah.
And hopefully make some progress.
Wonderful.
Y'all done a great job
Yeah.
for us through the years.
Yeah.
They may find something else to draw their attention to sort of forget about this a little bit.
There's plenty of that out
I was
there.
just about to say, there's plenty of that out there.
Yes.
Plenty of stuff
Yeah, they
going
got
on.
enough to worry with right now without worrying about Floyd County.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
Appreciate
Thank you
ya.
very
Much
Good seeing you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
It's nice
Yeah.
meeting you.
We'll send you those reports.
Yes, please,
Thank
thank you.
Take care.
Good night.
Jacob?
It was a
Make it this
goalpost
far?
use. I thought that was a good segue, Joe. You said the goalpost. It was moving the goalpost. Did you catch that?
Well, hope y'all are doing all right tonight.
So far, so good.
Yeah, hopefully this will not end you like DEQ does. I learned something tonight. Don't talk about DEQ.
As long as you're not talking nice about them, you're welcome.
Yeah, right.
Completely. But I figure, well, first I appreciate y'all letting me come up here and talk with you. It's been a minute since we've been up here and talked with y'all, so I'm gonna try. Kim, throw a brick at me if I get long-winded. She knows I get long-winded, but we're gonna try our best not to.
Brick, you got your brick?
So, I figured we'll kind of, the purpose of this will give you kind of an idea of what we've been doing the last fiscal year and so far this fiscal year. Give you an idea of where my brain's at, some kind of ideas, and hopefully answer any questions you may have. But to start with, I thought maybe the most important number y'all would want to see is the number of youth sport participants we had. Year over year, we're up not quite 11% from fiscal year '24. A lot of that had to do with spring soccer. But on the flip side of that, where we had a lot of growth with soccer and some of our other sports, tackle football, girls basketball, and some 10 and 12U baseball and softball are declining a little bit, but that's not a problem specific to us, that's across the industry right now. But we're really proud of the numbers we had.
Travel.
Another big thing, kind of from a 30,000 foot view, is last year we took on a lot more maintenance at outlying elementary schools. We took over Floyd Elementary completely, and now we're kind of even in an advisory role with the high school. We're providing them with guidance and products and at times physical help, but we're proud of the work we're doing up there as well. Maybe the third most important change, in my opinion, was kind of how we handled our special events this year. I think 2 years, maybe 3 years ago was the first time we did anything special events related. And since then we've kind of learned, and I think this year was the best year we've had so far. So let's go to the next one. Snapshot. I figured I'd include this to kind of give you an idea of where our money's going, what we're doing with it, kind of ideas there. As you can see, facilities have kind of went up. And I put essentially triple our workload because it surprised me. I think those of y'all that know me and Kim know when there's a carrot dangling in front of me, I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I don't, sometimes I'm like, more than I thought. But that's a blessing in the same breath there. But I did just want to point out, Not quite half of our budget from last year went to staffing in some way, shape, or form. That's gonna include Christian and my salary, any of our side helpers. And this also does include contractual services, so officials, and other odds and ends, people are in there as well, so, not quite half, the national average is around 55%, so, I'm trying to manage that and be as lean as I can while also being, as consistent and provide the best we can. The second biggest part of our budgets went to youth sport uniforms. This is something the more kids we serve, the more kids we have in the program. And with tariffs and inflation and everything in the background, things are gonna continue to rise. But I did wanna kind of brag on Christian here. He's done a really good job working with local vendors to get us quality jerseys, but also get us the best price. So we did go over our uniforms line last year, but again, that's a reflection of the increased number of kids we had. Wanted to thank y'all again. We spent a little over $20,000 on improving Floyd, Willis Elementary, Check, and Indian Valley. We spent roughly $9 at the rec park. Special events costs, again, we spent more this year than we did last, but we incrementally improved our fireworks from last year. That's by far the biggest expense we have in that category. But we've also incrementally just kind of added little things to Halloween, little things to Easter. This year we're gonna try some things with Christmas parade. So as time goes on and we expand and make those things better, we may spend a little more, but again, we're doing what we can. I did want to mention also, not included in this is about $40,000 to $50,000 of money that did not come off the back of the taxpayer. We paid for the new batting cages, the outdoor classroom or outdoor carport, words are hard, and the upgrades to the playground through grant dollars. So we're proud of that, and happy we had some money in the bank there.
Hold on,
Yes,
all
ma'am.
other, 20%, what's all other?
So that's miscellaneous. That could be any sort of maintenance, any sort of little fixes we have at the park, light bulbs. Bajillions of little tiny, little baby.
Ends up being 20%, huh?
Yeah, and if you want, I can get you breakdowns of that if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Now we talked a little bit about 30,000 foot view. This is kind of a more granular look at youth sports and kind of Christian's role and how this works. As we said, registrations are up almost 11%. I think Christian's owed a lot of credit in that area. He does a great job. Soccer was a hit, as we said, albeit we did learn some hard lessons along the way. We're thankful for those. I wanted to touch on soccer a little bit. Our partnership with Rush Soccer, I think, has really, really improved our soccer program, especially for the younger ages. In times previous and when I took over the authority and now the department, our soccer leagues were more based around competition, especially, from the youngest leagues all the way to the oldest. Rush's philosophy is more about development rather than competition. Their philosophy is, ensuring that our 4U and 6U and 8U kids have great footwork, great fundamentals. Will prepare them for when competition begins to matter more, when they get 10, 12, 13 years old and up into high school. Our partnership with Rush also allowed us to include 4U soccer for the first time ever. We've expanded the upper age limit of our leagues as well. We couldn't have done that without their help and their mentorship along the way. Something we kind of reverted to, I know this is kind of the way we used to do it with T-ball, but we moved our seasons a little later in the year. The intent there was to not just clog up is not the right word, but it's what I'm going to use here. We had all of our bat and ball sports going on at one time and only so many facilities to do it, and so it ended up that it felt like our T-ball folks and some of our coach pitch folks didn't get as many opportunities at the rec park. While also too, if you've got a T-ball and 2 kids that are playing 10U, it becomes hard for mom and dad to balance that. So we found that moving it a little later, gives us the opportunity to put kids on the better fields that we have and kind of reduce some of that burden on the parents. And as a result, we ended up getting about 20 more kids and 2 more teams out of it. So that's a trend. We'll continue that this upcoming year. And I wanted to mention 13-16 because although we did have the highest numbers we've ever had, that's not a huge league ever. But something that I didn't really realize this till I was putting this presentation together. This is the first summer since I've been here that we've not had downtime in the summer, which I think is a good thing.
Right.
It used to be my first couple of years, I used, June and July to kind of catch up on things I didn't have time to do earlier. But now, it seems like we have athletics, some way, shape, or form going on almost every night at the rec park consistently. And again, I think Christian has a lot to do with that, but just wanted to highlight that there.
When was the 13 to 16 baseball teams? How many teams did you have?
I think we have two. We have more teams or more kids on our team this year than previous years. Last year we only had one. But yeah, that season ran from, I believe, late May into the middle of July, late July. I'll double check on that, but.
And so that's middle school to, what, sophomores?
Well, and a good, I'm thinking of this off the top of my head. I think this is also a reflection of kids coming back to us. This is the class that I kind of come in with. Now they're.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to watch them. I'm not old, but it's like, man,
Yeah, you
the
are.
kids, look at them, bro. I said, man, they're almost graduating high school now. It's an odd feeling.
I run into grandkids of the people that I coached when I coached, so,
Yeah,
and some of them have great grandkids, so.
those days are coming.
13 to 16.
But while we're kind of on this subject, I did want to highlight Christian because I think a lot of his work, his best work, goes on in the background. And these are, I got a list as long as my arm I could put on here, but I think one of the better things to kind of highlight was he created the Coach of the Year program, which is small. It's a small program, but it makes a difference to our coaches. It went over well. We asked our parents to vote on it, and we presented to them at rec night at the high school. One of his bigger projects that he's working on right now is a youth sport handbook, and the intent there is, again, through learned lessons and things we've learned along the way, I feel like we can communicate as well as we can, but at the same time, there's 300 families sometimes that, they can't get a hold of us in the moment. They have questions. They don't know who to contact. Coaches don't know how they're supposed to do this. They don't know when to do this. So the intent is to develop that handbook to kind of create a playbook for any situation. Parent has a question about anything, right there it is. Same with coaches. So that'll be a hefty document. But he's working on it, and we hope to have that ready for you by spring. Also, too, I think this is the most important part, is, in my opinion, the biggest, or maybe the most important part to having a good youth program is to have consistent coaches the whole way through. I remember when I grew up, the Lynx and the Cars and those folks, they were there. It didn't matter if they had kids playing, they were in the program because they loved kids. I think COVID and kind of turnover, the history of where we've been has kind of shunned some folks to a certain degree, but I think Christian's doing a really good job of developing those relationships. So we have folks that are staying year to year to year and staying with their kids. And that's also not to say we don't have troubles finding coaches at certain times for certain leagues. But compared to 5 years ago or even 2 years ago, we're in a much better place as far as coaches go.
You forgot Lewis.
Hmm?
You forgot Lewis.
Oh, yeah, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew, if you're watching. Sorry, buddy. That's a big one.
Oh, yeah. You hear about it.
Yeah, that's all brick from Melinda. I figured move on to kind of go more into special events and senior programs and kind of things we dabbled in this year, or this fiscal year. Again, the Independence Day celebration, I think, we've only run it twice, but this was by far the best of the two. And just based on what my eyeballs could tell me, we had 700, 800, 900 folks present. Basically, the entire grassy area of the baseball field was somewhat full, so that's a guesstimation,
Mm-hmm.
maybe wrong. But something else that I thought was really interesting, and I don't know, I'm gonna peacock a little bit. Like walking out, we had folks approach us and we had folks message us on Facebook that said, I went to a couple of these this year, went to a few of these. This was the best fireworks we had this year, and that hit me right here. That's I'll live off that compliment for years.
Mm-hmm.
But we're proud of that, so I wanted to kind of let y'all know. Last year was the first year we did Halloween. First year we did a Christmas parade. Halloween, I didn't expect it to go nearly as well as it did, or have nearly as many. My goodness, it was, you looking.
Wall to wall.
Yeah, everywhere. And after meeting with Andrew, we're expecting a lot more this year. So we're excited for that. And like I said, Christmas parade, I'll be honest with you, that made me nervous. I met with Susan more times than I can count, and it was like, man, well, there's 30,000 different things that could go wrong. So thank you, Susan, if you're watching for that. But we were proud of how it went. I think there was only a few kind of minor hiccups that we know how to fix now, so we're proud of that. And in senior programs, I wanted to, I don't know that I've gotten in front of y'all and bragged on our old part-time community programs person, Miles Campbell. I did want to highlight him because I think he laid the groundwork for a lot of this, including the Christmas parade, including 4th of July. He did the work on Halloween the first time, so I wanted to make sure he got some credit in public. He started a weekly Wednesday program, and we had a group of 5 to 7 that come every week. But he also created a senior activities email distribution list that ended up, best I remember, had 50 or 60 people on it still. So, he got momentum. Something else that he did that I feel like really is going to help us is he kind of got us in cahoots more so than I could do with the NRV League's senior folks. Every department around us has somebody kind of dedicated to that, and Miles went to him and basically said, hey, help me. How can we do good? How do you do what you do? And really, I think he created a lot of meaningful relationships there. Those relationships have led to us, we were awarded the bid for the 2029 Senior Games.
Nice.
That is a humongous deal for us.
Nice.
But as big of a deal it is, that is a huge project. That is a lot of work. I'm excited for it. But this will be the first time we ever hosted. The last 2 years we've hosted the Captain's Choice portion of the tournament at Great Oaks, and that's went really well. It's a great day when you get to go spend a day watching folks play golf and giving prizes and whatnot. But I say that to say this: we're going to go from hosting 1 game to over 20, and we're going to need every hand on deck. We're going to need every facility we got in the county.
What time of year is this at?
It's generally in July. Yes, it kind of fluctuates year to year. Sometimes late June, early July.
Okay.
But generally somewhere in there.
Okay.
Don't schedule our vacation during that time.
Yeah. I expect to see y'all come out and watch and play, and we'll have some fun.
Well, we might even help you if you needed, if you asked.
I'm that down, Jerry.
You don't have
Put
to,
it down.
it's on video.
Oh, that's right. This is public discourse. That's right.
I'd like to know what the seniors
But I did want to highlight. I've said it's huge, but it's going to be over 20 individual games over the course of a week. So we're going to have 200 to 300 seniors coming in and out of the county every single day. So I think that's a huge opportunity for us.
That's wonderful.
So I wanted to share that. Now let's go to the next one. Another part of this year that I'm really proud of, I know we kind of already talked about Floyd, but just to kind of give y'all an overview of what we did as quickly as I can. We renovated every single field, elementary school field in the county. We put 20 tons of really good quality infield mix on each field and tilled it into the surface ourselves. Each field was different. It was like different personalities of children. You had different. One field was all sand. One field was all cinder. So it changed how we did things, but overall we're happy with the way it turned out. Put bases in, new base anchors, edged every field, got the correct arc distance, cut sod. I don't know the geology of Floyd, but let me tell you something. Floyd, I swear, they grow rock more than they grow dirt.
I can vouch for that.
Yep, when we went up there and we didn't dig down but more than 6 inches. And every time, we had to tell her, every 2 foot. So I kid you not, it would not surprise me if we took out literal 2 or 3 tons of rock and sod at these places. It was a ton of rock. But we're really proud of how it come out. If you go up and look at Floyd now, Floyd gets consistent love, consistent maintenance. And in my opinion, my goal is to try to make them look like they did in the 90s. I remember as a really little kid, really little, what they looked like. And so my goal, but I'm trying to bring them back to the glory days. But we're most of the way there, but figured I'd bring that up. Rec park. So we've continued working with Rodney Jordan, who is turf god, if you will, in the area. He visited us a few times to aerate, overseed, all the normal stuff you'd imagine. This is not necessarily in here, but I did want to let you know, if you go to the rec park, something that Rodney has done that I asked him to do was address our nutsedge kind of infestation. Nutsedge is running wild right now. I knew we had a lot, did not know we had as much as we did. So there's large areas of the big field, outfield that are kind of dead right now because they're all nut sedge. So if you have questions or see dead stuff at the rec park, it's nut sedge. But also to rec park, we added obviously the new set of musical equipment to the little kids playground. I get a kick out of that. I work there and yelling on it sometimes. We also added a 2-lane batting cage, so we got 3 lanes now.
Nice.
I wanted to, so again, this is Jacob dreaming, this is Jacob thinking down the road here. But I designed or ordered the carport in such a way that in the future we could put a concrete pad under it, and Jerry, get some pickleball.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's basically
They ask me about it every once in a while, and I said it's still on your agenda, and
Yep.
you just proved it, so.
Yeah, well, and we're also working on resurfacing some stuff around the county, tennis courts, that's a, I
Yeah.
can talk to Ms. Cromer type deal, but we got ways to make that happen, so. But yeah, eventually, I hope to turn that into a multi-purpose place where we can have pickleball and nice batting cages, so. The last part of improvements, thank y'all for letting me fix the sewage pipes, as you might
A
imagine.
lot of important stuff on there, but that's probably one of the most, but.
Yeah, creature comforts, as you might imagine, during the warmer times of the summer, it's not pleasant, I'll leave it at that, let your imagination run wild.
Our maintenance department also thanks you.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and thanks for Mark for dealing with a not great situation, I won't use the word I want to there. I
Thank
wanted
you.
to take this, I wanted to take, while we're kind of talking about this, and I really wanted to dote on the folks that have helped us this summer. I wanted to kind of preface this before I dote on them by saying, again, I think Ken would agree here, I feel like I can be Superman sometimes, and it took me this year in spring soccer in particular was kind of a lesson of, it was the final little whack on the head of, all right, Jacob, can't do everything you think you can. So it kind of made me kind of reset and say, okay, Jacob, what do I need? How do I make this work to consistently provide the love that those fields need and put a good product out for our kids? And these kids have worked their tails off to make that happen. So I wanted to, again, give them some praise in public. Nicholas Halley, Chase Keith, Jacob Smith, who wasn't here today, we took this picture, unfortunately. Sorry, Jacob. Colton Marshall and Miles Baldwin, who was our intern. Took a lot off of my plate. They helped me with the day-to-day maintenance at Floyd E. Excuse me. They helped with day-to-day maintenance on the trail, keep the bathrooms clean, sort of the stuff you would think of keeping a ball field in a facility looking good. So, again, really, really super proud. And Nick also too, just give Nick a shout out. We've had Nick as an ACE kid for almost 2.5 years now, and I'm proud of him. He's grown up. And he's trying to absorb things I tell him, and he's thinking in a professional way, and it's he's trying to become a professional, and he's doing a good job at it, and he's
What's he in school for?
So right now he's in I know he's just getting his general studies, but he's going to go to Radford or Tech for something adjacent to Parks and Rec related. I don't know if it'll be Parks and Rec, but it'll be something sports.
Special events, sports, something.
Something along those lines.
That's good.
Yeah, so
That's exactly what this ACE program is supposed to do.
and we're glad we got the ACE kids. I've had ACE kids before, and this is no shade to anybody else. These kids are by far the hardest workers I've ever had in my almost 7 years I've had here.
Well, good.
It was incredible. So I say that to say this. Once kind of the field work goes away, and in the winter, we hope to transition these folks to site supervising for us, kind of keep them in the fold, and we'll reintroduce them in the spring. Say that to kind of segue into the site supervisor program. We continue to get a lot of praise from parents and coaches and school administrators. Just because it provides a level of maybe security that we don't have. Again, going back to the adage of I can't be Superman. I think having somebody in an NFCPR shirt at every site, making sure that there's no issues with getting in school, there's no kids running around, no trash. It makes the environment better. And I think our folks really, really appreciate that. So we'll continue doing that. And again, proud of the kids. Now, kind of thinking forward, what we're working on now, what my thoughts are. A lot of this will be kind of continuations of things we've already talked about, but expand on it. So again, the lessons I learned out of spring soccer were, I assumed, naively perchance, that because we've ironed out everything at the rec park, if we were to just copy and paste that to Floyd E, in theory, things should go great. Yeah, in theory, that's where you go wrong. So I learned, I can't control the mowing schedule there. I can't control how low they mow it. I can't control the rain. I can't control how compacted that field is. I can't control how quickly the paint we put on that field comes away. So, and these are things I didn't think about till it was too late, and we found out where we went wrong. But say this, moving forward, I think it's really important for us to, put our whole haunches behind our athletic facilities. To give them the best that we can give them. That was one of the reasons I took this job or wanted this job as a kid. Is I'll tell you a personal story. I remember as a kid sliding into second base on that small field at the rec park. This was back when we had center on the field, and you can imagine what that did to my backside. And I still got some scars back here from that. But I remember it lit a fire in me that when I got older, I'm like, man, these fields have kind of become a passion project for me. Guess that's the way to put that. But again, I think moving forward, that's something I would like to focus on.
So as the old saying goes, you got skin in the game.
Yes, quite literally. Yes.
Got a lot of
Yeah, but we talked about kind of how our special events went this year, but
Right.
I would like to continually kind of 1%, 5% improve them. I think moving our Independence Day celebration to the 4th as opposed to the 3rd or the 5th is a logical step, although it will be a expensive step, and it may not happen for a while, but if the opportunity arises, I'd love to look at it. Increasing our Halloween, Easter, Christmas parade, increasing access, increasing participation, those are obviously, priorities of us. But essentially, we really want to bolster those because I think those are good. Maybe PR is not the word I want to use, but it shows that we're giving back to our community and we care about this. So, okay, I didn't miss a point. And again, I think Christian's done a really good job of incrementally kind of increasing the number of, age slots and divisions and leagues and sports that we have, period. But I think we can also continue doing that incrementally. So like for instance, this year, we're gonna, our baseball and softball leagues are gonna expand to essentially provide 2 separate leagues for our kids. We're gonna double the number of kids that go to All-Stars. We're gonna double the number of kids that get to cross-play with each other. So we're excited about that. And for next year, I would like to put in a bid to host the NRV League Super Bowl, which I think is doable. I think they would give it to us, and I think that'd be really cool for our kids. So again, that's just things I'm thinking about for the future.
But you said softball was decreasing earlier?
Yes, so let me go down a rabbit hole, and you'll know where I'm coming from here. Really since COVID, but even before that, maybe 2013 to 2015, travel ball has really taken a lot of our kids away.
I'd even go back further.
Yeah, and that's not even, again, that's not an us problem, that's
No, yeah,
that's an
nationally.
everywhere problem.
Yeah.
So we as a league have tried to really dig deep and figure out, okay, how can we bring those kids back, give them the opportunity to continue that lifestyle, but also give our kids a chance to flourish as well. So the 2-league structure is an opportunity to, in our view, bring those travel kids back, give them the opportunity to play for their county and not spend $500 a weekend if they want to, while also giving a pure product to our rec-only kids and the kids that are there for fun, So I think that's kind of where the disconnect has been, is that you have ultra-competitive kids,
Right.
and then you have kids that are there for fun. And there's nothing wrong with either group, but when you put them together, it makes the experience for both, I think, a little less. So the idea here is to kind of bring those kids back together and give them their own, unique way to experience competition and, especially All-Stars. I thought it was awesome that we're going to double our All-Star teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah.
And
Interesting.
that'll help and that'll solve a lot of problems.
That is an interesting concept, though.
Yeah.
Because, back in the day, you all played together, so I don't know.
Yeah, times they are changing.
Yeah,
Was that Billy Joel
yeah,
said
yeah.
that?
Bob.
I think was it Bob Dylan?
Yes.
One of them. They all saying, that's what I'm saying. Let me scrub that.
Nope.
No edits.
It's there.
I get jittery when I get nervous. Speak off the cuff. Anyway, while we're kind of on this subject, I wanted to brag on kind of the, the job that Miss Cromer and Tim Cromer have done to kind of bring us back together. They've, anything we have needed, it's not even been a question, it's like, yes, when I met with Tim about the football field when he first got there, I was nervous. But he sat down and was like, what are you talking about, dude? You need it? Yeah, use it, I don't care. And I'm like, wow, it's wonderful.
Big difference.
Yes, well, and I say that to say that, and I don't mean this ill against Tim, I hope this comes off the right way. I don't think he even understands how big of a deal that is to us.
Right.
Because, we took beatings for years because our teams weren't able to have full schedules of home games.
Yeah.
We took beatings because games that were rescheduled for a tenth of an inch of rain couldn't be rescheduled because we didn't have a slot to put it. So, I want to put in public how, that's a big deal for us. So we're it's a blessing.
Yeah.
But I say that to say this, we're singing Kumbaya, he's working with us, and we hope to kind of grow our partnership over time. And even now we're starting to kind of blossom and move into different areas, and I'm very proud that they're kind of looking at me and my department as kind of the authority figure is not the right word, but maybe athletic fields are my thing. It's what most of my masters is on. It's what majority of my certifications have to deal with. It's my lane. So to me it only makes sense. Expertise. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. It only makes sense to me that we work together, and Tim's job is to manage athletics at the high school, coach football team. Let me help you. Let me help you make football field green for the first time in my lifetime in November. Let me make that baseball field look like a baseball field. I say that not to behoove anybody or but that's my lane. So it's rewarding to me that they're recognizing that and kind of using us and our expertise for good. So I see that as something that will continue in the future, and again, it doesn't just benefit the high school. I think it benefits everybody because little buffaloes become big buffaloes one day.
Yep.
And those little buffaloes still play football on that field. Those little buffaloes still go to camps at that baseball and that softball field. So the better we make them look, the better, more it benefits everybody, in my opinion. And I wanted to touch on the turf tank as well. Holy cow, that thing has changed our life. Y'all need to, I will drop everything I have to give y'all a demonstration of that thing. I mentioned the turf tank because, again, going back to spring soccer and kind of the lessons we learned from that, consistent lining of that field, regardless of the circumstances that surround it, was important to our people. And it highlighted to me that, okay, after reviewing, thinking about it, if I really wanted it, knowing what I know now, I needed to be up there and line that thing 3 times, which means I need to go up there and I need to pull strings 3 times a week. I need to go up there and, walk at 0.2 miles an hour to make sure I get a straight line. Turf tank, oh my goodness. I push a button, I can go off and work. I go back, I come back in 2 hours. Oh, we're done. Great. Perfect lines, perfectly square every time. There's no difference in the paint. The paint is the same shade the entire way. It's like a kid at Christmas, man. I'm telling you, that thing changed my life. I love that thing. I'd name my kid after it if I could.
Good luck.
That's what I say. Victoria Fair Washington, love you, honey.
That's a long way.
Which one was it gonna be, tank or turf?
I thought about Mike Wazowski. This is a side note. It's the same color. You're thinking about Monsters Inc. Put the googly eyes on the front of it, call Mike. But
That's a long ways from those little cones with the 2 wheels that
Yes.
you put the lime in and you walk it.
yes, come a long way. But I wanted to, another cool, maybe down the road aspect of the turf tank is, I think it has revenue generation possibilities. Something cool that it does is it can take a vector file, I think that's the right word. Of any logo, any color, any combination, anything you can concoct in a Adobe file or whatever, can be turned into a custom logo. Any color you want, anything, any size, anywhere. And so I see opportunities to, incorporate that in small ways in our sponsorship package, or, Joe, I'm not committing you to anything, but if Wills Ridge wanted to, sponsor a flag football field, that's an easy way to put their logo on it and do something that nobody else around us does. So again, I wanted to just brag on that because, man, I'm telling you, Lord have mercy. Somebody tries to take that thing from me, I'm going to jail that night. But moving forward. So this is more like staff related, but The first thing is, so Destiny Webster is gonna do her practicum with us this fall. She's a special events major at Liberty, so this is, it's kind of her lane. And she's gonna help us with the Christmas parade, but something I thought was really cool that she pitched to me was the creation of a event for special needs children, not just in Floyd, but across the area, in spring. Yeah, so that'll be kind of her project. I didn't put this on here, I should have, but she'll also help us with Halloween. And we're looking forward to having her in the office. So, next point. So, proud of this one. But Christian and I are going to become papas this year. Christian and Bree's baby's due around Christmas, and mine and Victoria's is about mid-March.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. As I tell you, I'm getting trained so great. I'm learning all the lessons, and I'm excited.
You won't be prepared.
Yeah.
You
No
can
matter
try, but it's till
That's
the
right
real
here.
thing gets just,
I'm watching all the videos, reading all the books, and
Yeah.
Oh, there you
there's so
go.
much.
And throw them out the window and do what they
Yeah, pretty
Oh man.
talk to your grandma or your mom.
The
and-
baby will let you know what it needs.
Yes.
Yeah, well, we look forward to it, but I say this, I will be taking some time off. I will be with that baby for a little while, and so will Christian. So, during the times that they're out, we'll kind of bob and weave and move around, and the reason I mentioned Nick is he may kind of step in and take some of the lower level stuff that Christian does, and vice versa. When I'm gone, he may take some of my lower level stuff, and Christian, we'll just shift work around best we can. But be aware, we'll have babies, and life's going to be fun. Now, moving forward, opportunities. Something I've tried to figure out since I've got here is, I've always wanted to be the best of something, or have us be known for something around our community, or the region. And I think we're getting close to finding what that is. And, obviously, I think, based on the feedback we've gotten from 4th of July, it would be logical, if we wanted to go that route, to kind of put more eggs in the 4th of July basket. And create an event that, I remember as a kid, it was always you would go to Radford, or when they had that little festival down in Elston. They seem to have the best fireworks, No shade to either of them, but both of them have kind of fallen off. There's really not a best, in my opinion, in the area with fireworks, so I think there's an opportunity for us there. Second thing I think we could run with is kind of, leveraging our history, culture, things that make Floyd specifically special. Use that to promote recreational activities. Again, I think we have attributes and things pertaining to our history and culture that make us really unique from folks that surround us. We have things that people just down the road will never have, as far as our rich history. So I think there's opportunity to kind of weave, Civil War history, Native American history, Appalachian Trail history, XYZ, there's 30 different things you can do. Into parks and recreation activities. And I'll expand more a little bit on that in a little bit. And again, kind of a continuation of youth sports. Again, I think our athletic facilities, and I think y'all will agree, are kind of a reflection of what we think and how we feel about our kids. And it's very important to me that we, continually 1%, 2%, 5% every year make them that much better. I think a logical, maybe a next step would be, we're doing what we can with that large grassy field at Floyd E, but until we deeply aerate it, until we get rid of the 80% nut sedge that's on that field, until we have actual turf grass, and there's certain steps we could take to make that field beautiful. Again, not just for the high school, but our kids practice on it, our soccer kids play on it, our coach pitch, our T-balls play on it. In soccer, again, something I didn't think about till after the fact was, a field that's half dead, really hilly, really compacted, it's not very good for a soccer ball. Doesn't roll very smooth, So just little things I see we could do to make that a little better. And then further down the road, I think, and this is just my opinion here, I would like to take over maintenance at the outlying elementary schools. The rationale there is, I think, again, public perception and the amount of care and love that we put into Floyd E and the rec park, is great, but at the same time, I would love to be consistent across the rest of the county and provide the same benefits to kids in outlying areas and not feel like, Floyd kids get everything. So that's just my train of thought, but anyways. No, I'll go through this quicker, cause these are just kind of side trails I'm thinking about, but I think, in years moving forward, it's gonna be important for us to start really kind of focusing on senior services. Floyd, on average, our citizens are about 7.5 years older than the average Virginian, and that trend's gonna continue. And by the next census, our average age is gonna be over 50. So we know that sooner or later, they're gonna come back to roost. And I think it's kind of incumbent on us, it would be our lane to provide services for those seniors, provide enrichment, provide things for them to do on down the line. Another thing I think would be a logical step for us would be, summer and winter break programming. I think that's a huge gap in our program inventory at the moment, but also a huge opportunity, due simply to, again, thinking of when I was a kid, I love this place, but there wasn't much to do during summer, other than go scratch your arms up getting square bells out of the field. So, for the kids of this county who still have to do square bells, I see, summer camps and enrichment opportunities, trips, whatever the case may be, an opportunity to kind of break that monotony and give them something constructive to do.
It keeps them interested too.
Yes, it keeps them in our system, keeps them more involved, more committed to us. Next thing would be, again, just touching on historic and cultural programming. There's one of the best parts of my job, I feel like, is I get to research and,
Not anymore.
deeply more dive into the history of this county and what makes us special. I mentioned the Appalachian Trail here because I remember as a kid, I knew the Appalachian Trail existed, I knew it was close, I had no clue it ran through Floyd. I had no clue that building out in your district was a prison until you told me it was a prison. I had no clue we had the only arsenic mine in the entire country to ever exist here in Czech. So the more I go down these rabbit holes, the more I realize, holy cow, we got, if we have unique things to us that, without, depending the route we want to go, there's not a lot of money in it if you just want to preserve it and educate our community. So, at the Appalachian Trail specifically, I've probably put a year and a half worth of research into that. I've got the entire version, or multiple versions from 31 to 51 mapped in their entirety. I have original NPS documents, I have original narratives, I have 30,000 things that could be turned into something really cool for the community, I think. That's just one example. But we also have a really rich Native American history. I got to tour a property 3 or 4 months ago now that was rumored to be a Native American wintering site, and by George, yes it was, I can tell you it was. The second I went in the little creek, I didn't take nothing, went in the creek and just started nosing around, I said, holy cow, I picked up an arrowhead. And what do you know, there's flint, pieces of flint, and there's pieces of this, and you go up here and there's waste piles, and it's like, this is awesome, long-winded way of saying, I think we could leverage that and use it as educational programming for our community. Last part would be outdoor rec access. This one I think is more convoluted, there's more, it's tricky to do this, but I also think, there's not a lot of public access to the Little River. If you count Thunderstruck, I know that's not necessarily public, I'm thankful the community allows us to jump in when we want, but there's really nowhere to go. El Tenedor doesn't exist anymore. So I think, public access in some way, shape, or form would really be well received by the community. And trails and green space. I think, part of what makes us unique, or would make us unique if we were to go this route, is we don't need $20 million parks like Christiansburg does to provide the same amount of impact.
Right.
Like, we could take some of these old school buildings or old, these, anything, Native Americans, XYZ, and turn it into something that resembles a park, but much less money, and it's Floyd-centric. It's our style. So, I see a lot of opportunity there, depending on kind of which route you want to go. But I was more long-winded than I hoped. But I say that to say this. Man, I was long-winded. Good moving. I'll tell you a story. I don't know if y'all know this, but the reason I took this job, some of y'all may know this, but y'all know I umpire and I officiate, and the reason I started that was because Cheryl begged me when I was 13 or 14. She needed an umpire, and I did it and fell in love, and I was like, holy cow, I can make $20 to do this? Sign me up every day, But I say that to say this. I had a ball game at Czech one day, and we had a rain delay of something. Cheryl was there, And we was just chit chatting, you know, she goes, Jacob, what do you wanna do when you get older? And, you know, I told her, I said, I don't really know, but I wanna do something with sports. And looking back now, I understand she was joking. But she chuckled and said, "Ha! You know, you go to college, get your degree, come back. I'll give you my job." But I didn't, you know, I didn't take that as a joke. I said, "Yes, ma'am." And so from then, I kind of basically said, "You know what? I'm going to college, and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take Cheryl's job." You know, so and again, love Cheryl to death, but you know, I say that to say this. This place is kind of, you know, it's my passion. I love this place. I love what we have, and I want to make it better. Because I remember as a kid wondering why things were the way they were. You know. So kind of leads me to this. I feel like we're kind of at a good crossroads. I don't mean a crossroads in a bad way, but you know, again, I felt like the lessons of this year was I learned my limits. I learned Christian's limits. I learned what we can do as a team, and I feel like we're kind of maxed out right now. So I wanted to ask y'all as an open forum question. You know, off the top, what direction do you want us to go in? Is there something that's important to you? You know, what just sometimes I feel like Moses wandering in the woods, you know, trying to make everything happen and, oh, great idea, let's try this. But I figured, you know, just ask y'all, what's important to y'all, what would y'all like to see?
Well, we won't let you wander for 40 years, all right?
Yeah, if you didn't throw some man on something, you know, but.
Well, I think you're in, I think you're headed in the right direction with some of your ideas there. Also, add to that history, add some of the sports, because we had baseball team, we had travel baseball team, adults that participated in leagues. I mean, there's, talk to
Well, we
me.
still do. There's a little tiny semi-pro league that actually plays games at the high school with a kid that works for me, Zach Turpin, plays on that team.
Mr. Williams can fill you in on all that. I think his daddy was a part of it.
Yeah, some uncles that played too. He had uncles that played
He had
too.
uncles
Yeah,
that
Roger.
played and,
Yeah.
and, you know, and I just tie that back in since we're talking about recreation, don't forget about our sports history as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And, no, I think you're, I like your ideas. I'm glad to see you enthusiastic.
Yeah,
It's,
I say this with love, but Kim has to strategically pick the right times to take a break and Jacob, sit down. Hey, calm down, boy.
that comes with it too. You
Yeah.
have to,
Yeah.
because everything comes down to the dollars.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah, so, but I appreciate that.
You know, Shearer's Park, you know, we could sort of promote that, and it's got the old furnace up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, I've done a lot of research on that. We have several furnaces,
Yeah.
several mines connected to it.
Yes.
So we have significant mining history also.
Yes.
Arsenic mine kind of led me down a rabbit hole I didn't expect to, but I figured out within 5 minutes where I live, there was cobalt mine, there's copper mine, there's this, there's that, and Allegheny Springs is full of cobalt. I'm like, oh.
Don't forget the gold mine too.
Yep, it was right next to the arsenic mine.
Yep.
Yep, there's I could
Well,
go
there
down a
was
rabbit
another
hole.
one too.
Out my way.
Down on, there's one out your way and there's another one out on Little River too.
Alright, okay, I'll tell you a side story here. So once I figured out there was gold in that vein at one time, I figured out who the landowners was, and thank the Lord, it was a coach of mine. And I went out and bought me some gold pan stuff, and I got so excited and got me some waders and went out there and didn't find a speck of gold. So it's either I'm terrible at finding gold or it's all gone. But if there's gold near you, Miss Linda, the cooking book, I will be happy to come and serve it.
There it
Sure.
is.
Just let me know.
You'll do the research on that, won't
I
you?
will do all the research.
Personally.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, somebody put themselves through tech
Yeah.
back in the day, in the
Yeah.
'70s. Came and mined Laurel Creek.
Yeah.
Made enough money to put himself through tech at the time.
Okay, no. But there was one-
Well, for me, I need more time to kind of
I was
think
just gonna say.
and talk, and maybe we, you know, have you back and talk about it, maybe at one of our day meetings, we discuss things. There is one thing that has come up, and I don't know if this is in other sports, but, you know, with our middle school situations developing, where our athletes are playing up, as it were, it seems to be creating a situation where our teams may not be competitive enough because there are players that are moving up with the relationship you have with Coach Cromer, hopefully you'll be able to iron that out. And that's nothing for you to comment on, but I know
It's in
that
the
that,
works.
yeah, I know that that was something that had started to surface, and I don't know if we're gonna see the same thing in our other sports. So it's something to be aware of,
I think
because
it's consistent across, the reason I mentioned 10 and 12U baseball and softball suffering, it's not only because of travel ball, but those,
right,
I don't like using the word elite, but the kids that play travel ball every weekend and go all over creation, they, once they get to 10, 11, 12 years old and they have the opportunity to play up, they don't see a need for us. They see middle school as a challenge and an opportunity to kind of prove themselves. So
Right.
I see where you're coming from, and I think our senior football team would not mind me saying this, we're struggling because of that this year.
Right.
I mean, we got 14 kids and we're hanging on, but it's not great.
right.
So I don't wanna say any details, but we've had conversations about that.
Okay,
There
good.
are- there are changes.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't expecting an answer or anything, I just was bringing it up as a situation that has started to develop, and I'm glad to hear that you're working on it, so that's great.
And it's escalated. It started years ago when AEU became big.
Yeah, that's when
That's
he
when
was,
it
yeah,
really hit us.
yeah,
That's when it hit us.
yeah, that's when,
The authority.
Yeah.
It, and you were trying to manage, it was a mess.
Yeah.
yeah, that
So I
was
know
Jacob's
exactly.
era,
Yep, I
Vinny,
remember those days.
Vinny and Jacob's era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So-
the competition, I
Yeah.
mean, they see, you said it right, they see it as a challenge. And they go for the challenge. And I can't blame them.
That's what's
Yeah,
I
but
don't
we
think
always
it's
came
wrong.
back to rec, that's the problem though.
Now, we tried to schedule around, but now
To
it
no
seems
avail.
like there's travel teams all the time, every day, so there's no way you can,
And that's part of the problem.
unless you wanna be playing softball and baseball season in December,
And I think that's part of the problem, again, just a side note, for several years I ran travel tournaments, travel softball, showcase softball, and even since I stopped 2, 3, 4 years ago, it's like there's a travel team, and then there's 32 travel teams under it, and then it's like travel has become so diluted, it's a money pit now. But the lure of the uniforms and going to ballparks in fancy South Carolina or, playing in an Olympic complex, that's the lure. And so I think it's becoming a money pit. I think eventually the crow's gonna come back home, not crows, hen's gonna come back home to roost. And they're gonna figure out, why am I spending $500 a weekend to go
I don't
down and play the same kids I could play in my neighborhood? So I'm trying to be prepared for when that does happen, and we're, again, trying to make structural changes to not entice, but make it easier for them to come back.
Right.
So, yes.
So if it's okay, maybe I'll send out an email to you guys, and if there's any suggestions,
Yeah, or
that we
we-
could put through, and we'll have them on the
Right,
day agenda.
yeah.
I acknowledge
Yeah.
that, but it could kind of get him,
Sure.
get some
Sort of make a
information to
want
him.
list for 'em.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Exactly.
And on your end, I know you got a lot of things on there, but kind of prioritize what you see as, or I think, what you see as number one, number two, number three, or, some of them are gonna be equal, but if you could prioritize your list, then, because that's what it'll take for us to prepare for the
Yeah, that'd be easy. I can do that with you.
I mean, for instance, what's the difference between a July 3rd, a July 5th, and a July 4th? The increase is how much?
This year astronomical. I'm not gonna tell you the number.
For 20,
Yes.
for
I
this coming
understand.
year?
Yeah, this
Yes,
past
you're gonna
year.
need, you
No,
would need
for
some
this-
statins and an extent if you heard the number.
Okay, then we don't wanna hear that
You do
number.
not,
No.
I don't think so.
It's not even a, can I interrupt? It's not even an option.
Right.
For next year.
Yeah, not happening. I tried, but that was one of those deals where I got not happening this year, so I said, okay. Generally, so the difference last year was about $10,000, $10,000 to $15,000, and it depends greatly on company to company.
Right,
Like Brian and Clinda's husband, their company was, even though they were the last one we asked, they were by far the most competitive. Whereas the company that we've used
prior.
10 years prior
Mhm.
was a $15,000 jump. You know, there were other companies that were $7, $10, $12,000. It's hard to say with certainty, but it's a somewhat considerable jump.
Can you lock in now
Yeah, I can
For-
lock
for
in as
which-
early as you want.
for 2026?
No,
Oh, I thought you meant for next year,
It's
or
fight that,
the following year.
it's
Yes,
fight that way.
For you'd be for 2027, you could lock it.
Oh, no, yeah, I, based on what I know, Linda, correct me if I'm wrong, it's a year-to-year basis. Basically, after July 4th is over, they start retaking applications and kind of setting their priorities.
2026.
So on July 5th, you'd have to get on the list.
2026 is booked out for all professional pyrotechnic.
already.
Because too, let's take into account, it's the
It's the
250.
250.
You know, it's a big one, so.
Oh, yeah, right.
Something we can figure out when
Yeah.
it gets next
Well, that-
July, so.
Well, but I will say this, that was the one thing that I heard about that
Yeah.
from the public that contacted me.
Yeah.
They thought everything was great, everything was wonderful, why didn't we do it on the 4th?
Mhm. Yeah.
You know,
Well, and
and that's the holiday, that's the celebration,
that's our big one, I think, for the,
yeah,
as
and
a county.
that's, and most people are off that day.
Mhm.
So when you go to switching around,
Well, and there's two, I know this is down the rabbit hole, there's several ideas I have too. We could, if we say we're to spend $10,000 more on fireworks, there's ways to make that money back on the event without burdening our local folk.
right,
So I won't belabor you with those ideas, cause I'll talk for another hour, but,
Don't do it, man.
yeah, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna.
Don't do it, don't do it.
Yeah,
Where's the
but-
brick?
Yeah, I was gonna say, somebody get one, shoot me out of here. But anyway, thank y'all
Thank
for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jacob.
you
Have a good
for
night.
Appreciate the
doing.
tour the other day, I really enjoyed that.
Yes, sir. But if you wanna go down the rest of it, I'm ready for it.
We're going to rest of it.
Okay, you let me know when you're ready, I got it ready, so.
All right.
Y'all good, have a good night.
You too, Jacob, thank you.
I don't see no constitutional officers about their head somewhere about that. Now,
I guess
go
that
to
was
our,
over there, but
so we'll move on to public comment. It is the intent that all persons attending the meeting of the board, regardless of handicap and conditions, shall have an opportunity to participate. If any person present requires any special assistance, please let the board know in order that arrangements can be made. Speakers are limited 4 minutes. Sharing or giving away of unused time is not permitted. The board does not respond to questions or comments made by the speaker during the public comment period. So, we've got signed up.
Speaker, Mr. Kitchen from Little River.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of Supervisors, administrative staff, and fellow citizens from Floyd County, good evening. Paul Kitchen, Little River. I'm here on behalf of the Floyd County Electoral Board this evening. And just briefly, we wanted to thank you for putting on your agenda item this evening a proclamation to honor our electoral election workers as an appreciation day. The official day is November the 11th, it's statewide, but we wanted to get it on your agenda early because we're in the middle of an election right now, and all of those workers are getting all geared up and getting ready to go, and we really do appreciate them. Right from Sarah and her team over at the Office of Election, right down to the folks that go out there on election day, arriving at 5 in the morning and getting home sometime after 9 o'clock at night that day. It's a long one, so we really do appreciate them. Well, the reason we wanted to get it on the agenda early is because on October the 15th, we have our training for all of our officers of election, and we invite you to come and join us. It would be great if one or several of you could come to one or both of our training sessions. I'll send you the details, Kim, to honor our folks. We would like to give them a copy of the proclamation that you will sign this evening, and also have you witness them when they are sworn into their office. That would be a real nice gesture if that could happen, because we really do appreciate everything that they do. And so, thank you, we really do appreciate what you're doing to help us in supporting safe, secure, and accurate elections here in Floyd County. Thanks, good evening.
Thank you.
Good night. I declare the public comment period closed. And we need to set meeting dates for, I think in October is pretty well,
Yeah,
This time.
just November and December the
well,
ones.
there's two things in October, just a reminder, on the 21st, you'll have the land division workshop.
Yep.
It's
And
21st.
that is correct,
At what
yes, sir.
time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m., that's what I have.
Good. And then I would ask if you guys, on October 14th, which is the date of our day meeting, if possibly prior to, or however it has to happen, do a walkthrough on the main floor of the bank.
Okay.
I think getting some, defined visions and just getting it all, everybody in the same room, and I have some of the plans, and us just walk it, look, point, yes, no, maybe, and then let us go. But this way we have some consistent, clear direction.
Yeah, I think it's important we get that going.
I think so, yeah. So that's on the
Absolutely.
14th, so maybe once, okay?
Lunch table down there and you'll get us there.
All right.
No, I'm just picking at you.
That's a bad idea, though.
No.
Lunch. I'll
Okay, also in October, our time changes, right?
Correct.
That is correct, and that was the
6
last,
p.m.
that was the other
Yep,
thing.
we go
So
back to
in
6.
October, we begin 6 p.m. from 7 p.m. So that'll run through, as of right now, consistently, it has been through March.
Right.
Then April goes to 7th, and, but you would have to, in January, you'll confirm that. But through the end of the year, 6 p.m. Okay.
In November, we usually just have one meeting. Sometimes if we got a lot going on, we try to make
Right.
two, but
So in November, already on the 11th, which is the second Tuesday, it's election day. It's also coming
No.
back from,
It's Veterans Day.
Veterans Day.
Veterans
Got me
Day.
in elections day.
And we've got
And
the
you're at
Baco.
Baco,
Right, we're
so
coming back.
so the 11th would already be a scheduled day off, as well as board members at Baco. So, and then the holiday you've already approved for the 3 days off, but the additional would be the 26th, the 27th, and the 28th for the county.
Right.
so we wanna have
So what,
What about the 18th?
that's what we're getting ready to say, have our board meeting on
Third
the 18th. This is the third Tuesday.
either that or, does it look like there is going to be a lot?
In
'Cause,
November?
yeah. I know it's
As of
hard.
right now, no. I'm not being funny, I
No,
just,
I
how things
gotcha.
go.
Usually
yeah.
it's not.
Usually it is
it's
not. Usually it is not.
Cause I would go with the 13th if we had to, but if we don't think so, then the 18th works for me.
Most people are used to us meeting
Yeah.
on Tuesdays.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
That would actually, that would actually put us at would be considered the 4th, the second, right?
Well, that would be the 3rd.
1, 2,
It's the
3rd, 18th will be the 3rd.
3rd.
Oh, that's right, no, I'm looking at the 28th, you're right. Thank you for the correction.
Well, it's not set in stone. If we see something coming down the pike, we think we wanna have two, we can always adjust it.
Right.
That will be a day meeting, is that correct?
Yes.
We're talking about a day meeting.
Yeah, I'm just double checking.
Oh, yeah.
Splits up the disbursements in
Correct.
a good way also.
Yeah.
To where we can get them paid.
So the tentatively November 18th day meeting.
So, so I would ask that we, and not tentatively, like if we decide that's day, because I also have to notify, put that out
Yeah.
by code, so,
Yeah.
and at time, so that's why I wanna make sure that we're committed to that.
Right.
And if we have to have another meeting, we just do it the next week, I guess.
Call a special, or call a special at any time.
Yeah,
So the 18th
At
8:30.
8:30 AM, so.
I'll make a motion if you're prepared.
Alrighty. Give you a second on that, so.
Yes, second. I was thinking you'd make a motion.
I did.
He did.
Well, yeah, you just said motion. I was waiting for the whole thing.
On a, sir, do you want me to go ahead and call it? Okay, on a motion to, for the November scheduled Board of Supervisors meeting, there will be one meeting on November 18th at 8:30 AM. Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Mr. Terman.
Yes. And Levi just have to make dates.
And then, December,
The 9th would be,
the 9th would be our regular
Regular
scheduled
meeting.
board meeting.
and I guess if stuff is coming up, we can always schedule another one if we have to.
Yeah, that, I think that's what we did in the past, we went
Yes.
ahead and met our regular meeting first, and then if we seen, sometimes we have to meet like on the 27th, 28th, or
Right.
sometime for the first year.
Yeah, or maybe the 23rd or something.
Leave it.
I will not be here.
Leave
So
it to
leave
9.
December as, should I leave it as is with the
9th.
with the 9th for the AM meeting as it's already
Yeah.
scheduled? Yep. And the 23rd,
Potential to cancel.
We could.
Why don't we wait till,
Okay.
why don't we wait till next month and that way
That's
you
fair.
might see if,
if there's potential need.
cause we can always cancel it in November
That
if
is
we
correct.
need to.
Correct.
That way if you see something coming up,
Okay. So November is just, we'll just leave as is for now, we'll revisit it possibly at the end of October if or beginning of November.
The reason
December.
we usually have one last week in December, years previous to this, is we had some carryover stuff and different things we had to,
Right.
you know, take care of.
Well, the other thing that to consider is the last week, which would fall the 29th, 30th, and 31st. Usually if I remember correctly, we'd have a meeting, is it the 31st or is it the
No, it's-
second? Excuse me,
Yeah,
the
but I'll
second.
be out of town, we discussed that. I will be out of town.
Sorry.
I will be out of town from the
Second.
26th through the 2nd, and I made,
scheduled it for the 5th.
yes, we scheduled it for the 5th, it was gonna be our reorganizational meeting.
Okay,
yeah, Monday the 5th,
Right,
okay.
yeah.
Um,
We should have, we already did that or did we
yeah, we
just-
did.
Okay,
I mean, I don't know that we made a motion, but
we'll make it.
I will make a motion
I'll second it. How's that?
for 8:30 AM on January 5th. Unless you wanna all come down to the beach.
That would be nice.
Well, we don't have to do it here now. Yeah, let him back.
You coming to the beach?
Go to the beach.
January 5th,
Yep,
what time?
8:30.
8:30 AM.
It'll get it pretty right.
Did we didn't do the same thing for New Year's that we did for Christmas, did we?
We did not discuss January 1st, we stopped with December.
Well, I think we should do the first and the
A
second.
second, I agree.
So,
So the county has the first off. It's New Year's Day.
yes.
So we would be giving county
second.
employees the second.
I think we should.
Yeah,
I
they
think
get
we're not
4-day
gonna have a
break that
bunch
way.
of people here anyway.
So make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we also give the second off.
Second.
Yes. You were seconding it. You were seconding the second.
Not
wasn't you?
January 2nd, he's like, yes,
Oh,
second,
yes.
yes. Okay, on a motion,
It's been one of them days.
on a motion to, January 1st is a scheduled holiday off to give in addition, January 2nd as an 8-hour
Holiday.
off as well. Mr. Booth,
Yes,
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes,
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
I just don't understand how the state didn't give people off the 26th of the second, I mean, seriously.
Busy raising the flag. Up and down.
Alrighty, and then we'll move on to the new business.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
if I may ask, may we get Levi on the phone?
Yes, that's a good idea.
Did you go ahead and add,
Not yet.
wanna do that?
We do our proclamation.
I was doing the proclamation first.
Hold on. You got it in your brain?
Wait a minute,
Oh, it's already
what are we doing first?
proclamation.
Proclamation.
Oh, okay, hold please. On the, for a new, okay. Sir, you have a copy of the proclamation in your folder.
Yep.
It's the proclamation for the Election Worker Appreciation Day.
Well, if we don't have Levi on the phone, he doesn't vote, you gotta change the unanimous way to Dan Carey.
Yes.
Right.
Do we wanna read it? You want me to read it, sir?
Yes.
Okay. At a regular meeting, the Board of Supervisors of Floyd County, Virginia held on Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom of the County Administration Building thereof. Present, Joe D. Turman, Chairman, Jerry W. Booth, Vice Chairman, Linda DeVito Cookenbook, and Kalinda Bechtold, Board members. Board member Levi Cox did not participate. Kim Cheeto, Interim County Administrator, Jenny Tolbert, Administrative Accounting Specialist, and Daniel Lowry, Head of IT Operations, to live stream. The following action was taken on a motion by, wanna give the motion?
Yeah.
Okay. Seconded by Supervisor Cookenbook. Whereas free and fair elections are the cornerstone of our democracy and their success depends on the dedication and integrity of election workers across Floyd County, Virginia. Whereas election workers serve as guardians of the democratic process, ensuring that every eligible voter has the opportunity to cast their ballot safely, securely, and efficiently. Whereas these individuals, whether full-time officials or temporary election day workers, work long hours under intense pressure, often facing logistical challenges, public scrutiny, and even threats to their safety. Whereas during heightened political tensions, Floyd County election work has risen to the occasion with resilience and professionalism. Now, therefore, we, the Floyd County Board of Supervisors, proclaim the 11th day of November in the year 2025 as Election Worker Appreciation Day, and call upon all the citizens of Floyd County, Virginia, to recognize and thank the election officials and volunteers who uphold the integrity of our election system. Let us honor their service, celebrate their commitment, and ensure they receive the respect and support they deserve.
Got a motion.
I made the motion,
Yeah, I got
she
I
seconded.
seconded.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead and call roll.
Okay. On the motion to accept the proclamation for Election Worker Appreciation Day, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
and Mr. Turman.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Linda made it, and you seconded.
Well, no, she asked me and I said if I
I'll
do
add
it,
it.
so I said yes.
So should we do the naming of the road first? You wanna do the naming?
Yeah, let's do the naming of the road first.
It's you,
Okay.
I mean, it's your district.
Yeah,
Whose district is that?
Indian Valley,
Just on the edge.
but just barely.
But just barely.
I didn't see anything out of.
No, me neither. Is that what is that? Is that the tennis court property? Like, what is that green thing? Can you tell?
Pickleball.
I think it's a pickleball court.
Really?
I think so.
I know there's a tennis court out on Allen Ridge Road.
It's turf or what?
I don't know. They have it painted green. I think it always was.
I can't say.
May I make the motion? Yeah, I'd like to make the motion to approve the naming of the shared drive, Heartwood Farm Circle Northwest, tax map number 3975, as requested.
I'll second.
Oh, yeah.
No second.
On a motion for the request of the naming of shared drive, Heartwood Farm Circle Northwest, tax map number 39-75, Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Ms. Quickenbook.
Yes.
Mr. Booth.
Yes.
And Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Do you wanna do the last one?
Oh, yeah, the building sign.
All right.
Yeah, the building sign, go ahead and do that.
Turn it over. Beautiful.
So, thank you, Andy Finn, working with him, put him on a real, we're gonna put him on a real, tight, short schedule for him to produce stuff of a lot of discussion. Jen and I met him outside and we discussed a lot of things. So, you could see, now that, again, you could put county government or government building on another sign, it could be, you know, these are just quick samples. I will tell you, I won't tell you what what the vote was, but I will tell you, I pulled everybody on this floor to see what they, you know, thought represented. And I can tell you what everybody chose, it was unanimous, the one they chose.
Hold on, let's see what we do.
Well,
Let's see if
that's why
it
I said I'm not
jives.
gonna tell you
Yeah,
now.
let's see if it
I'm
jives.
for number 3.
I'm for number 3.
That's what I want, government
Because we
building.
have different offices that's gonna be downstairs that are not our offices.
Right.
And everybody really, I do have to tell you, everybody had input, everybody thought about it, we played around with Nate, like government complex or just different types of things and you know,
What did you
came
think?
up honoring the,
I liked the way the logo was laid out too and
Correct.
established.
established 1831.
So did we all, are we all unanimous?
100%
There you go.
unanimous.
Perfect.
Typical.
Good job, Andy.
You need a motion,
I do.
Mr. Chairman? I'd make a motion that we use the third option on this. That
As
uses
presented.
the established with the seal and says government building.
Second.
Beautiful.
Motion is second. You ain't got 100%.
It's
Yeah,
true, and
seriously.
actually, probably 1,000% if including staff.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
On a motion to approve the third presentation or option, which denotes government building of what was presented for the building sign of the administration building. Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes.
All right, 3 it is.
Can you get Levi on the phone?
Do we need to make a motion to add that under new business?
No, just gonna ask for a motion from the floor.
Oh, okay.
Got it? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Do you wanna?
No,
Mr. Party and to whom I'm speaking.
Hello,
Hello,
Hey,
how's it going?
good.
Well, you're on 3 new committees.
Plus a task force.
no trade backs.
I can't wait, we just down here stuffing our face full of Kansas City barbecue tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I hate it for you.
I'm telling you, Levi, it's a
Yeah,
tough
drip,
job, but
drip,
somebody's
drip.
gotta do it.
You're at drip, drip,
Oh,
drip. It's
yeah.
my heart bleeding for you.
Yeah,
So-
we went to a place down here, boy, line was out the door.
Wow,
Yeah.
crazy.
Hold on,
Never seen
Levi.
anything like it.
Okay. We decided not to have a closed session because there wasn't nothing else to discuss, so I'm gonna open the
Yeah.
floor for a motion.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to nominate Ms. Kim Cheeto to the position of County Administrator.
I'll second that.
Motion is second.
Can
Any
I,
discussion?
do you nominate or appoint?
Appoint,
Appoint.
appoint.
Yeah, okay. So modified my second to appoint.
No discussion, call the roll.
This is awkward.
her
Okay, on a motion to appoint myself, Kim Cheeto, to the county administrative position, Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
Mr. Booth?
Yes,
Ms. Cookenbook?
Yes,
Mr. Cox?
Yes.
And Mr. Terman.
Yes,
Okay, we have unanimous vote.
and condolences.
okay, you go. Motion to execute the contract.
I don't think we gotta have a motion to execute the contract, do we?
Oh, okay.
All we need to do is just get her to sign before she changes her mind.
And you,
And me, yeah.
okay, I just want to make sure if we needed to, we did what we needed to, so.
so Levi, there were a couple of things that I'd like to clue you in on in terms of dates,
Okay.
okay?
I was gonna email him as well.
Yeah.
Alright, just so you know, you'll get an email, but we set November 18th as the Board of Supervisors Day meeting.
Okay.
And we're
Fine.
going back to 7 PM with October 28th, with October 28th's meeting.
Going to 6.
6 PM, excuse me,
6 p.m.
yeah, 6 PM,
Yeah. Okay. All right. 6
from
p.m.
7.
All right.
And then only
Gotcha.
one meeting in December, which is the normal day meeting, the 9th.
And also our reorganizational meeting will be January the 5th.
Okay. All right.
And we gave the 2nd off to the county workers. Like we gave the 26th off, we also gave the 2nd. And maybe the state will see clear to do that as well, we'll see.
Okay. All right.
Have you got anything for board
Gotcha.
time?
I don't know.
All right, go on, pig out on your barbecue then.
Pig out on the pig.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Have a good
Thank you,
trip.
Levi.
Take care.
Thank you, Levi.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Anybody have anything for board time?
Thank you, Danny.
I just got one question. And you're the one to ask now. I keep getting asked, when can I get some of my green boxes back?
Yeah, that's what I keep hearing too.
At least,
What do you keep hearing?
at least,
Green boxes.
at least 2 or 3 up at the trucking company.
Yep.
How much longer would, I'm not talking about down here on Route 8, but I'm talking about at the trucking company.
At JNS?
Yeah.
When can we expect those back? Because.
Yep. Those are the ones people are asking me
least
about
2.
too.
Huh?
At least 2.
Before 2030?
Yes.
That seems to be a hot number tonight, so
I mean,
if we could,
okay.
it would really help.
and I know Route 8 is a sore subject, but I mean, a couple of people have asked me about that too,
Route 8
One outside of town.
right outside of town.
Where the naughtiness is happening.
Yeah.
Where they're dumping.
Exactly.
Yeah, somebody is.
Mm-hmm.
And
Has
do we have
anybody-
cameras?
Has anybody opened any of that to see if any of it is addressed?
Yes, we have.
Good,
Yeah,
and
we
that's
have.
being pursued?
We have through solid waste, actually Mike, and also through the sheriff's office.
Good.
A couple of the sheriff's office also have taken
should-
some, so.
We should have someone from the sheriff's office there when we're opening them, just to.
they were actually brought to the sheriff's office. Mike brought the first load, cause
Well-
there was 2 loads that were,
Yes.
Right, but maybe next time ask the deputy to come down there and open them there on site.
okay, I'm not sure if he took a picture, I'll follow up, but that's a great idea, cause I'm not sure.
It's not my idea, it's what Patrick County did years ago up
No,
on
that's,
Belcher
that's
Mountain.
a good
Right.
idea.
They bought their deputy chest waders and sent him over to the bank and they had people there and they actually photographed him opening them and
Yep.
finding
Perfect.
magazines and
Okay.
letters and.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Anyway, not to reward somebody for doing that, however, it would be good to get a couple of them back there. And then if the bears come back, then we move them again, but
And
I mean,
I also had a request, and I brought this up years ago and it's never been pursued. The dumpsters at the landfill,
Mhm.
they're dragging stuff all over those fields, up the hills, whatever. If we redesign that entrance, we can put those things down there, we can put the electronic gates up and have it just like
Right.
we do everywhere else.
Mhm.
We get it off the road, people blocking the road.
yeah, it's a safety hazard.
It's a safety
Yeah,
hazard.
it is.
But I mean, there's ladies in the neighborhood that are up there all the time picking trash up and doing their thing. And we have the room, I mean, I know it's
we
gonna be.
do.
We have to put a separate gate going to the maintenance building. We have to have a separate gate going to down the one lane, and then you got the other one. But you can still do an electronic gate system there where the green boxes are open from 5 to 8 or whatever. And the other gates are closed where they can't access and get it off the road. I bring it up again, but.
Yep.
I know there's some other areas it's priority, but just keep that in mind as
Okay.
we go forward. It
Absolutely.
needs to be done. And that building down there, I know there's some stuff that's been stored in it, but I haven't seen anything new or any activity around it. You know, there's a big tree in a building there,
Mhm.
you know, we could clear that out and put
Yeah.
them on that
Maybe open
side
up, yep.
and
Mhm.
fix it where our
Yeah.
trucks can get in it and at least get that off of the road.
I don't disagree, okay.
But have it open so people can go in there past the time.
Yeah, we can still put the
Right.
electronic gates on it and all that,
Yeah.
so that they close, so the bears don't get in there and, you know.
But people can get in after the landfill hours.
Right.
That's what I was getting ready to say, that would help for the people that gets there at 12 o'clock when the gates is locked till 11:30.
Yeah.
They can still get in there
They
and
can
get
still
rid
get
of
in
the
and get
trash.
their trash dumped.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
Just
noted,
food for thought,
yep, absolutely.
and that's enough. I'll save my one more thing for something else.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
No, that's all I have.
I just had one question, you know, if this other site we're looking at comes to fruition, would that be a good place to maybe start with our compactors to see how they're gonna work?
I mean,
It would take less grading down there and getting it ready and everything. It would be,
Well, for me, since I wasn't really for it, I think that might be the best way to keep the trash encased and enclosed. And for fear of any leakage, I
it's,
think,
it would give us a general idea how them things is gonna work and,
yeah.
you know, if they're feasible, you know.
I don't have a problem doing that.
No, me neither.
Do it as a test site and
Yeah.
see, I mean, we need to do a test site somewhere before we go in the whole.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, it gives us
I was
an
gonna say
idea.
it, but you beat me to it.
vegan can say it.
And if I remember that area right, if you gotta upgrade on your electrical stuff
Mm-hmm,
to a 3-phase, it'd be easier to do it down there than it would be up Wells.
that's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cause they can add it when AEP comes, just
Right,
add it,
yeah.
do one
Yeah, I'm
shot.
trying to think
Okay.
of what might be out there.
That has that line capacity to start with.
Yeah.
The line capacity, I think the biggest thing is to change transformer.
Yeah, they might.
That's the only thing I know of is upgrading the transformer.
Maybe, I don't know,
Okay.
Possible.
possibly. Which is just over the hill,
Yeah, it is.
literally.
It is,
I know,
yeah.
So-
I forgot that.
yeah, so. Anyway,
Ready?
Alrighty, we're going up to our administrators.
Oh boy. Tower update, working on 3, we're gonna do sample. So it's already on the schedule to have that, we're gonna do it at all 3 sites. Once that's done, and then the one Slapemont, had to just remove like 1 or 2 trees to get to the level to do that sample, and then we should be good to go.
so
Checks ready to roll, Indian Valley,
in terms of sample, just, how do you mean sample?
they're gonna do a core
I see,
samples
core
for
samples.
each, yeah. Okay.
Core samples,
For stability.
to lay the concrete
Rock.
pad.
All that, yeah.
Okay.
There's a little index card in your file, Jenny and I, we went to the ceremony over here at the Presbyterian Church for the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Right,
4 o'clock bell ringing, which was, I guess, nationwide. They did read the resolution from the
Good.
board and the town. It was a nice ceremony, it was nice to be
Nice.
present for that. Reminder that on Thursday, this room will be a 3rd courtroom. Gabby and Brian and, making sure just everything's gonna be, gonna rope areas off and just, for public just to stay in this area.
which court is this? Circuit,
General District.
General District?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
There, from what I understand, I don't have confirmed as of today, but the original was gonna be here, the town, and the courthouse will be utilizing 2 at least.
And Judge Duncan will be presiding here,
Here.
right?
Yes, sir.
For the life of me, I can't understand how they come up with 3 courts on one day.
yeah, me neither.
From what I understand, Rhonda stated that there is a an order that a lot of the hearings that were postponed, rescheduled, set aside, for whatever reason didn't happen, they must be completed. I don't know the date. You remember the date? Yeah, I don't know if it's end of this fiscal year, but they all court, has a specific date to complete
Every court in the
Back.
Commonwealth.
back orders, so to speak,
The
okay?
speedy trial thing.
So
Right.
Yes.
they're gonna be, so we'll just continue to be supportive, and just assist where we can and get it done. I know that,
All my
there's
years, I've
different
never heard of
monetary.
that.
Me
Do you,
neither.
Danny?
Well, see, my understanding, they still got stuff going back to the pandemic, but
Yeah, this is from, I think,
Hmm.
and if I'm wrong on the
They
date,
got
I will
delayed.
correct it. It was I believe 86 was the date. I don't know why I have that date in my head, but yeah, it's pretty far back, even that further back, so.
that had been just carried over and
Correct.
carried over and carried
Yeah.
over,
Correct.
so.
And I'll correct the date if I need to. I'll make sure that happens.
Could this possibly be used again then?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the request could come and I would obviously.
Absolutely,
you
I
know,
mean, I have no,
Anytime.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
okay.
don't have-
I'm
So-
fine with it.
I don't have a
Yeah,
problem.
I'm
if
just
it works out
wondering if it-
logistically and it works out for the
Because
judge and and it's safe, I can't
With
see why
early
we can't
voting,
be
they
supportive.
can't use that
Yeah.
up there.
Right, not
Right.
now.
Cause that's
Right.
already
Yes.
been assigned,
Right.
so.
I would rather have the general district here than J and D.
Absolutely, yeah,
If possible.
yeah,
Yeah,
We may
absolutely.
not have a choice in that.
right.
But I agree
Yeah, but
with you.
J and D can get pretty nasty sometimes, so.
You have the bank, 125th, The bank
Yeah.
turns 125 this year, so they're gonna have their open house on Friday, the 26th, from 11 to 2. And that covers all the banks that they named and bought and acquired and all that kind of stuff. So they are every person is out, pretty much anything monetarily is out of this bank. They still have some stuff to move, and they're still looking at October to be completely vacated. Mark, Ronnie, Danny, probably Jenny, Rodney and myself, we're gonna do a walkthrough kind of punch list. And then Danny for the IT, doors, things of that nature. So we're just trying to confirm a date and a time. And then we'll do a walkthrough with the Commissioner of Revenue, registrar, treasurer, because some of the furniture is gonna stay and they can mark it and
Right.
we can, and those kind of things.
If they already moved their IT stuff?
No.
That's still
It's
gotta be
until
done.
we get out of that.
Will that impact us? Shouldn't interfere with our operations, okay.
So, and lastly, just a reminder, on the 30th, Honoring One's Journey will be the event at the Peer Center. Gathering, live music, food, face painting. It will be from 5 to 7. It's on Tuesday, September 30th. And I believe that's it.
No correspondence.
No correspondence.
Yep,
Yeah, I know, that was so odd.
yeah.
I know.
No correspondence
That
filed.
Take a motion to adjourn.
moved.
Second?
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Booth,
Yes.
Ms. Cookenbook,
Yes.
Ms. Bechtold,
Yes.
and Mr. Terman.
Yes.
Where's Ralphie?